All right, guys, welcome to Never a Dull Moment. It is Whetstone War time. You've been waiting for this. This series is going to be taking off. Let's get into it. Today we have a champion that you know. This is the Kuromaku version of the Shapton ceramic webstone. Shapton has always been a people's champions. It's been around forever. People love it. The challenger. We have the Japanese natural stone brand of a synthetic stone. Today is Battle 1K. So we have the champion you know versus the up-and-comer contender. So let's get into the tail of the tape. Today in Kitchen Stadium, we bring to you two different stones from just two different worlds. We know for a fact on this detailed website for, I use sharpeningsupplies.com to get my info. I just have that it's ceramic material. On the JNS site, I'm not told at all what the synthetic material is, but I know it's just going to be of a ceramic base. So as far as like getting a little more detailed on that, I'm sorry I don't have it. Let's get into the price. Okay, so for really like the $58 American, boom, the Shapton glass comes in at the 270 millimeter. It's 10 millimeters shorter than what we have over here. We have for $76 US. We have 10 millimeter thicker, also 270 millimeters in length. It's 5 millimeters wider, but you're going to get a little bit more stone. Shapton really goes a long way to let you know that this lasts a very long time. Obviously, I've not owned either one of them at all long enough to know the durability of the stone over time. So what we're going to be evaluating today is just how fun it is to use. We'll talk about its aggressiveness. I want to make a note that when something is aggressive, it could be that it's a true 1000. It could be leaning on the 900, 800 grit side. It could be that the one that's less aggressive isn't the true 1000. It's the one that's leaning on the 2000 or 1500 or 1200. So even though like being a little bit more aggressive might seem like the thing that we would want with our 1000 grit, everything that we're going to do today, we're going to do on just the one stone. So where it might be aggressive enough to get it sharp at the beginning, it might be a little bit still too aggressive on the stropping side of it because we're going to finish the knife on the stone. We're not using any leather. Everything is about these two stones and how they perform overall. So once again, the two knives that we're using today are matching Moritaka 210 millimeter Gyuto. They are brought to us by one of our sponsors, Tokushu Knife. We appreciate Tony giving us the knives that we're going to be using today. So we have two identical knives. Okay, so these 210 millimeter super blue knives are going to be separated. They're going to be in their corner, ready to do battle. So we have two soaking stones. So we do not need to pre-soak in any way, shape, or form. That's the way it is told to us on the website. So neither one of them had to be pre-soaked. Now, even though the higher dollar, the $18 more stone is 10 millimeters thicker, I will point out that even though you're saving $18 over here, the case that it comes in is a case that's perforated to help it with drying. And the case itself is also a stone holder. So where you don't need a stone holder, I mean, it's always good to use a stone holder. It, in a way, came with its own stone holder. So you're going to be saving $18. It's considered, you know, the champion coming in. It's got to be the favorite coming in. If you remember in the last video, I mean, I told you at the end, I had a predetermined like thing who I was going to win, and I was completely shocked. And here we are today once again. I mean, in my head, I know that I think the champions always come in the favorite, but the performance always tells. We knew when we were cutting shit up last time that like it was either good or not, and today is going to tell the tale. I want to also point out that with the Shapton glass, they really did kind of go the extra step and give us a little bit of some material as far as like how to take care of the stone. My wife was actually reading some of this, and I really enjoyed some of the things that she said. You know, do not leave the stone in water. Do not leave it in the sun. I don't know how many of us are doing that. Do not dry the stone with a fan. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that, so it was kind of nice to have it pointed out. Do not subject the stone to extreme temperature. I mean, all of these things can be common sense to you, but I'm not sure environmentally where you live. I do not wash the stone with hot water. So they're basically just continuously telling you that extreme hot and cold is not good for the adhesive and the abrasives. So again, it was just a nice little added step I thought I'd bring out for you. So these two stones were used in the last Whetstone Wars. We left the Whetstone Wars on an 8K stone pretty sharp, which means that the stones have not been used since that day, and they're both sharp. So the knives, my wife's like, you're saying stones. The knives have not been used since they were put on the 8K stones. I have not used them. They are only for Whetstone Wars. So that means they're really sharp right now. So we have to dull them. And so we have my version of the brick. So we're going to quickly 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'll do the other 20 and then we'll make sure that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, because we know that the really sharp knives bite. All right, so we can see the logos. We'll go ahead and get just a quick shot. I've got the overhead camera. I'll show you the logo really good. All right, and for the purposes of this video, since both of these are double-sided, you can use the reverse side. So we're going to be doing that today. So the JNS. And I've got that suspended in the Naniwa stone holder. The two sink bridges we have in front of you today is we have the Naniwa sink bridge and we have the Tojiro sink bridge. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get this turned over as well, and we'll use the backside. So something we're going to need to do right off the bat is make sure the stones are flat. We had used this stone in a video, and the last time it was used was in the video where I like premiered the stone for you. So we know the other side was flattened. All right, so we have the Atoma. I'm using the 400 on here. I'd say that was pretty flat. All right, we have an even playing field for these two stones. Just want to give them an equal slurry there. Okay. All right, so it doesn't really matter who's going to go first. So this is not a knife sharpening video. We've got plenty of those. I'll definitely put a link in the description. If you're new to sharpening, you'll learn more about that. So basically, we're going to actually need to make a burr for both sides on this, and then we're going to have to remove the burr on this, and we're going to have to strop it on this. Everything will be done on this, and then we'll talk about how it feels, how fast it took to do the work, and then the finished results. I will say right off the bat, I definitely feel the texture of the stone. I think it sounds more aggressive than what I thought it was going to sound like. Seriously. I mean, I'm done. I needed a little bit more right here. Now, granted, super blue is really nice to sharpen on. No pressure, no pressure. Spoiler alert, my wife might be learning how to sharpen on the show. I know you guys will always want to comment on that. Mrs. Never a Dull Moment.
Has never done it in her life.
Never done it in her life.
That might be the longest episode ever.
Yeah, it'd be the funniest episode ever. It'd be longest, but the funniest. Okay, so that was super aggressive. Definitely fun to do. You will also note that I did not put matte underneath these things, so if they're moving a little bit, it's because I forgot to do that. Nope. Maybe in the future we need to mic up Mrs. Never a Dull Moment. Okay, so that knife is done. That was really done. Okay, so just to finish all the work, I'm going to do some like stropping for some burr removal. It has a grittiness to it. I mean, it's smooth, and yet it's aggressive sounding.
Yeah, but smooth gritty, which makes no sense.
Yes. My wife, if you didn't hear her, said it's smooth gritty. The Kuromaku line for Shapton is considered their highest end line, at least according to the website I read. If I'm wrong, I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments. I don't mind being corrected, just use kind words. I appreciate it. We're going to do some edge leading strokes. So I'm just really trying to make sure the weight is even, pulling it like the blade into the stone, the same angle that I sharpened it at. If you ever learn edge leading strokes, this is considered by knife grinders something you can do up to 8,000 grit, including 8,000 grit. It's considered a little bit more stressful on the edge above 8,000 grit. I'm just really like no pressure. I mean, my hand is literally barely resting on the knife. I'm trying to make sure that any material that's left on the edge is removed. If I'm seem a bit excessive to some of you, it's because we're not going to another stone. If I don't remove the burr right now, it's going to not be unfair to the stone because I didn't do my job. So I have to kind of give it its due. So let me just tell you what I'm thinking. I feel like with my technique, I feel like there's still a little bit of a burr on this side, which would be odd. So I'm just trying to make sure I get it level. Wow. Okay. I will just say, without even doing the other one, this is a fun stone to use. I have not used this stone at all. Literally right now, right in front of you, is what I've got going on. So let me dry this off. There's a towel right there. If you'll hand it to me, please. I need to sit it down and okay. So over here, Japanese natural stone brand, but not natural stone, synthetic. Definitely has a smoother sound. So I would say with my experience of other 1,000 grit stones, like my gut would be to say that it's more of 1,000 grit, like maybe the other one's more aggressive, or that maybe this doesn't quite make it to 1,000 grit. It has texture. But I think you can easily tell that it's quieter. So I have a burr, pretty equal in speed. I mean, I tried to make sure I counted strokes in my head for both. I would say that the burr is more of a micro burr on this, like it's there, a little bit less prominent, which would just lead to saying that that one would be a little bit more aggressive. Do I feel like there's a burr on? Yes. I feel like it's ever so slight, and honestly, that goes towards the life of your knife. I mean, I would tell you that the burr is just slightly there. A little bit more down here at the bottom we need. It got muddier, like just showing you that it's a little thicker mud, but it's not clogged up. I mean, it's loose, it's sitting there. Okay, so we need to do some edge leading strokes. Let's move this over a little bit. I don't have a horse in this race. Just trying to make sure that each one gets their due diligence. Okay, so we're going to do the dropping the other direction. I think you can see the difference in the mud, but it's moving. The stone is, we might call that loaded up, but it's not loaded that it's stopped cutting. Okay, so 2 knives identical, 2 knives dulled identically, both sharpened by the same guy in front of you live. I have no clue the end result. What's on my brain? So I did not put it on cork. I did not pull it through wood. I did not do anything to remove the burr other than to see what the stone itself did. I think we all know that this can be a plus or a minus because doing the extra step of putting on leather can literally change everything, but I didn't want to take anything away from the stone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just do a paper test to see if we've gotten an even edge and a sharp edge. So over here we're doing the Shapton. Okay, so we're able to right to the tip, and so we were able to push. It wasn't extremely quiet.
No.
It was a noticeable sound. It didn't sound dull. It just didn't sound like a whisper.
Nor does that.
Nor does that.
Seems to.
So let's push. That was an easy push. Let's do the tip. Make sure we. And that would be my technique. I would never blame the stone on, like, say, you know, did I technique-wise do just as good at the top? That would be a me. It seems like the more I do, like the little, like that push was like amazing.
They sound similar.
They sound, so my wife, if you guys, we're definitely got to mic this lady up. I mean, we got to get a separate mic and just, you know, get her involved here. All right, so let's do our double over. See if we can catch it. I don't want to crease it, but so we didn't catch right there. Hold on. Oh, let's try the other one.
All right.
Okay. So let's keep them separate. Let's do another. Okay, so we have our I kind of came in at an angle. So I need to get another piece of paper real quick.
I'll say, because that one sounded different.
It sounded different, but I came in behind the other cut, and so I had to make room for it, per se. I'm not going to short it. I'm not going to. So, like, let's switch it. Like, we'll do the other one first. Okay, so we're having similar problems before. Let me make sure I don't crease it, but, you know, get it good enough. So, equal problem. Okay. So I just thought, like in the first one, maybe it was a little too much bubble. So let me go here. That was a little louder, which is what my wife was pointing out. If I come in more aggressively. So, I mean, I'm partial to still say a tie at this point. There'll be some other deciding factors in a second. We're going to go to the paper towel. My wife's wondering, can we do a paper towel? Can we make it? Can we make a face? Okay, so we still have the Shapton 1000. Okay, so we got a cut. Maybe I'm not so good in the middle of the knife. So that's a little bit me. So we got some cutting. I wasn't great all the way down the end of the knife. We got no cutting. 0. That's all tear. That's literally all tear. There was a little tiny bit of cut on that. I'm just tearing it. Okay. So I have a winner. And I think it's self-evident if we take everything into consideration. So trying not to be a favorite towards the champion, trying to come in, it doesn't matter if you've been here a while, you got to prove it. We have $18 cheaper. We have a lot of vendors with a lot of different ways to get this. We have $18 cheaper. We have a stone holder. It is 10 millimeters less in thickness, known for its ability to be around for a long time. It had a great feel. It was fun to use. Every single thing about it. So we came in $18. I thought doing them just a little bit more fun over here. Did I think they both got it done equally fast? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do not give the advantage to anyone, not the champion, for speed. I was actually worried, like I was favoring the micro burr, like the burr was not quite as obvious on this side, which tends to lead itself to some longevity. It had a good sound, it had a good feel, it got it done really quick, it was noticeable. In the end, the paper towel just kind of said, you know, we did it. I mean, I'm sorry. So you came in the champion. Sometimes to beat a champion, you got to beat the champion. You didn't beat the champion. You know, the winner definitely to date, I mean, it just seems so evident, is the Shapton 1000 Kuromaku. You know, it's hard. I mean, it's hard. I've never gotten a chance to use this stone before. I'm super excited about my future experience with the other stones that I got from this brand. My wife's trying to say something to me off camera. It doesn't work if she doesn't say the words, because making all of these crazy sounds and things like this doesn't do anything for me. So I'm just letting her know as we continue to shoot live. I don't know what this is, so there you go. So at the end of the day, you know, this was definitely not a dull moment. Well, never a dull moment kitchen stadium. We always hope that it's pretty exciting. It just kind of wow. You know what I mean? Like literally up to the finish line. A nose. I mean, literally the nose. The paper towel and the $18. I mean, $18, $18. It goes towards a lot of other things. I mean, if I can get it done, feels good, got a little like sharper and saved $18. Let me tell you what, I want to just make a quick apologies to JapaneseNaturalStone.com. When I did the review of their stones, I was not overly impressed. I think there's certain stones that they have that just leave me wanting. Definitely feel way more amazed about this 1,000 grit stone. Lost to the champion, head held high. I mean, literally barely. I mean, we're literally running neck and neck, and the nose got it. Literally the nose got it. So onward and upward, Shapton retains the title. Please, you know, we look forward to seeing future battles. The idea that we have for another future battle, we're looking at Battle 2K. I'm looking at the Green Brick of Joy. I think I have a Morihei 2000. It might be a 3, so I'd look for another 2K that I have. But I'm looking at Battle 2K for the next battle. We always look forward to your suggestions in the comments. Thank you for watching this show today. I'm glad we have a champion. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. God bless.